Heathens. Got two articles I wanted to bring to your attention. The first of which you may have already seen if you had taken my advice and checked out NoWorkBum, who is a fantastic YouTuber. You got to check him out. He posted a link to this one in one of his past Eye on Religion in the News things that he does. It's a story about a archdiocese in Washington State. They were participating in a state-functioned foster care program, and it had been around for 80 years doing this. They were told that because of law that was passed in Washington, that they would no longer be able to restrict same-sex couples from fostering through their program. They could not discriminate as a state-sponsored program to gay people in their foster program. Now, as any reasonable and intelligent person who is trying to help children get out of foster care and into permanent homes, or off the streets and into foster care or whatever, they're trying to help children. When faced with the conundrum of, well, we don't support gay rights, but we want to make sure these kids have a home, the Archdiocese in Washington State made the so typical decision and said, then we're going to close our doors, because we think that if children can't make it into heterosexual homes, as they would 90% of the time anyhow, they just shouldn't have homes. Yes, the Archdiocese in Washington decided, instead of carrying on with what they're doing, but simply opening the door so that some same-sex couples would get to foster some of the other children, because I guarantee you they were not 100% booked. It wasn't like every child coming in got a home. There were plenty of children that were going through group homes and things like that, because that's how it is across America. But they, instead of saying, well, let's put some of these into those gay homes so at least they have a home, they said, no, they shouldn't get any home. I talked about this before, and most of you who have been following my channel know that this is something that's very personal to me. The idea that you would reject a home to a child who has no home over your religious bigotry, and that's the only way it can be looked at, just shows that you should have never been in the foster care program to begin with. So good. Get out of the way, let the state grow its program, and you just stay the hell out of it. The second one that I want to bring to your attention is one that I found earlier today by myself, but Desertphile figured he would just scoop me on it and post a video about it before I could. Damn it. Just kidding. Desertphile's awesome. If you haven't checked out, if you aren't subscribed to him, check him out. All links will be posted. You can check it out over there. But anyway, this is a young girl who was 18 years old, or is 18-year-old. She's a high school senior, and she wanted to attend her prom. Her name is Constance McMillan, and she wanted to attend her prom. Now, that's not too much to ask now, is it? Well, the thing is that Constance wanted to invite a date. And unfortunately, in this particular case, that date was another girl. She's a lesbian. And she wanted to bring her girlfriend. Now, I know for a fact from growing up myself that many people who didn't have dates would bring their friends. They would go with their friends. It would be two guys, two girls, whatever. If you didn't have a date, you just went with a group of people. They would all rent a limo, and 12 people would show up all at one time. Now, maybe the mistake was on Constance's part for not playing it under the watchful eyes of the Bible Belt of the South here, because it is here in the South. She is in Mississippi. But Constance wanted to bring her girlfriend, and maybe this was the straw that broke the camel's back. She was going to wear a tuxedo while her girlfriend wore the dress. And they were afraid that would cause too much disruption. And so, like any reasonable high school who had this issue where they had formally said no same-sex couples at the prom, instead of just simply talking to the girl and working out some sort of deal where she'd have her own dance, or she would have to do her own thing and stay out of it, or just telling her she couldn't come, they canceled the prom for everybody. Now, granted, the ACLU had gotten involved at this point and basically showed them that they were violating this girl's rights by telling her who she could and could not bring to her own prom. And so they knew they couldn't win this fight. So their solution was to make this girl a social outcast and say, yeah, there's the reason why there's no prom this year, guys. Good luck to you. The condescending, idiotic remark that they make when asked about this, instead of saying, yes, this is why we canceled it, they just simply played it off and said, okay, I'm looking everywhere. I don't see this thing all of a sudden. I saw this article earlier this morning. It was there. Now, it's not. Apparently, they've taken this part out. But what it said was, and I guess this time you'll have to take my word for it, it said that they hoped that the people of the community would do something for the students themselves because the school board was going to get out of it. Because they didn't want to have any distractions. I hate to break this to you, but the prom existing as a whole is a distraction. What you did was just retarded. This girl wanted to take her girlfriend to the dance. If you had just left it alone and let her go, as another 16-year-old student says, Mackenzie Cheney says that she wasn't planning to attend the prom, but it's kind of ridiculous. Quote, it's kind of ridiculous that they can't let her wear the tuxedo and let it all be over with. A 16-year-old understood this, and you did not. Let the girl take her girlfriend to the prom. Okay, a few people might snicker. A few people might even get offended. But the rest of them would get on with it. And it would have been no big deal. And instead, you, because you were so against the idea that she might take her girlfriend, pitched this bitch. But again, I back up. Had Constance simply went to the prom, met up with her girlfriend, you couldn't have stopped it. There is no rule that says she has to wear a dress. She could have shown up in her tuxedo. I know some people from my high school who showed up in something crazy because they wanted to make a statement or whatever. This is such ridiculous stuff here that you let your skewed idea of how the world should work infringe on other people. This isn't about, well, I don't have a problem with gay people. I just don't think blah, blah, blah. I don't know. You have a problem with gay people if you're going to say, well, we're going to close our adoption and foster care program if I'm forced to let gay people participate. I'm going to close my prom if I have to let gay people participate. Is this what Jesus would do? I'm just asking. Don't take my word for it. Think for yourselves.